And you've been doing this 15 years now.
Mm-hmm.
When we first got together, we took your body fat was about 26%.
Yep.
And that was one of the things that you said helped you shift an idea around how you really were perceiving yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I realized I was carrying a lot more fat than I realized. Over 50 pounds of fat.
So you're 50 pounds less than you were?
No, I'm at probably around 17 or 15% body fat now. I got down to about 11.
Yeah.
So to do the math, I lost about 30 pounds from where I was the heaviest.
Yeah.
To where I got down to what I think is probably the right weight for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a huge change.
Big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of things happened to make that change. What would you list were some of the things that helped you in the process?
Well, I mean, it was exercising smarter, but the food, I think, probably made a bigger difference than anything else. And it was just making better decisions, more realistic decisions around food, being more conscious of how much I needed to eat, and what kinds of food, how much of certain kinds of food should I eat, and how much of certain kinds of food should I not be eating. And I just think because I was so active and I was working hard at the gym and I was doing really physical work, building houses, working on houses, that I would just burn whatever I ate right up. But as you get older, that doesn't work as well.
Well, and so many people have that, like I'm active, or I work really hard, or I've had a really tough day, and so food becomes a little bit more than just a way to fuel yourself.
Mm-hmm. Sure. No, there's that. There's a way of sort of rewarding yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
So keeping a food diary, writing down what I ate.
Food diary.
Food diary. Writing it all down, everything from the straight peanut to whatever I had for dinner. Portion control and having some guidelines around that, which is funny to say, but I didn't have an idea what like a normal, an appropriate portion was for myself. And I think you get portions if you go to restaurants, they're gigantic.
They're huge.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I realized I didn't need all that food.
Yeah.
And so I started controlling that, and I didn't really miss it. I didn't feel like I was starving myself. I wasn't depriving myself. I was actually quite satisfied with what I was taking in.
Yeah, I love that. So you got to a place where you didn't feel like you were starving, or you didn't eat.
No, it wasn't a hardship. I didn't feel deprived in any way.
Yeah, I love that.
I felt good.
So what would you say to somebody that's kind of thinking, I want to make a change like that?
Well, it's to start to think about the kinds of food that they're eating and how much of it. Mm-hmm. Freezing.
Yeah, no, it's good. We freeze all the time, but then we go on like it's not even happening.
Because that's the magic of editing.
It is, and maybe we won't even edit this, and you'll love this part. I promise you. And I'll be like,
no, it's all right. So it's food that is just avoiding unnecessary sugars.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Staying away from certain kinds of fats, trans fats. And portion control.
Yeah.
Trying to keep my food as uncomplicated. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of extra fillers and additives, and whole grains, vegetables, lean proteins, legumes.
So people that are thinking about doing that, maybe make one small change in that direction. Start with a whole or healthy.
These little changes can make a big difference. And the other part was I always look forward to cocktail hour at the end of the day, and started to realize that it had become a habit. And half the time I didn't really want to have that drink, but I just did it because it's what I did at 6 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah.
And so being aware of when I was happy to have a drink and when I was just doing it because it was a habit, I cut how much alcohol I was taking in easily by half, which is an enormous calorie load, and they're completely empty calories.
Yeah. And so now when you have one, you really enjoy it, and it's...
Yep. When I decide to have a beer or a glass of wine, it's because it's one of the simple pleasures in life, and I'm enjoying it.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Well, thanks for checking in with us.
Happy to do so.
Yeah, and you can hire him if you want. He's done it. So he knows the deal. So thanks a lot, Don.
You're welcome.
Yeah.